If you are working on a tight budget and you want a new graphics card, or you're looking for a new PC build but you don't know which one to buy, you came to the right video. In this one I will show you my top 5 favorite budget graphics card that you can get right now, and if you're a beginner to PCs, don't worry because I will explain what performance to expect out of these GPUs and at which resolution as well. You will have the links to all of these graphics cards down below in the video description. That being said, let's start. With the first one we have the budget RX 6600. I absolutely love this graphics card. It has been the best budget GPU for a long time now and is going for $190. This GPU is great for 1080p gaming for starters. You will be able to achieve high FPS in every single game at 1080p with no issues, especially if you're gonna play games like Fortnite, Valorant, CSGO, or any esports title. But if you want to play more demanding games like Red Dead Redemption 2 or Cyberpunk 2077 at 1080p, you will be able to run these games, which is a great deal at this price. About the estimated performance, on a 12 game average at 1080p, the 6600 was able to average 110 FPS, which is amazing, and then at 1440p, it was able to average 74 FPS on those same 12 games at high to ultra settings. So even if you want to play at 1440p, this is a nice GPU. Now, I wouldn't recommend it for 1440p high FPS, but if you want to play the most popular games like GTA 5, FIFA, NBA 2K, 1440p is definitely more than possible. Now, if you have some extra money to spend, I recommend you going with the Intel Arc A750. This one is going for $220. It's on a 26% discount by the time that I'm recording this video, and it's around 10% faster in gaming than the RX 6600 while costing around 30 extra bucks. So it's not a huge upgrade, but it is going to make a difference at 1080p and 1440p, especially at 1440p resolution. And also the price difference is not insane, so it's a nice GPU to have. And on top of that, you're buying from Intel, a new competitor on the market. That is always a positive. The only downside here is that because they are new, drivers are not going to be the best. They are still developing the drivers to be as optimized as possible, but right now they are actually pretty decent. So I believe this is a great choice for people that are on a tight budget. With the next one, we have the RX 7600. This one was supposed to be the new RX 6600. Now, I don't think it's as good value as the 6600, but I still think it's a great deal at the price of $257. This GPU performs about 14% faster than the Intel Arc A750 and about 30% faster than the RX 6600 on average. Now, this is just an average, it really depends on the game that you're playing, but it's a nice upgrade considering the price is decent as well, and it's around $15 to $20 more expensive than the RX 6650 XT, which both have around the same performance. So you might be wondering, why are you recommending me something that has basically the same performance and is $20 more expensive? Well, the reason for that is because of the drivers and how long they will last. Since this one is brand new, drivers will last a bit longer. Now, with the next one, we have a $30 more expensive GPU. For $280, you can get the RX 6700. And I believe this is the starting point for a nice, solid 1440p gaming experience. With the other GPUs, you can also play at 1440p, but you're a bit limited by the VRAM. Here you have 10 gigs of VRAM, and this is what I would recommend to start playing at 1440p, especially if you want to play the latest AAA titles like Hogwarts Legacy. Now, if you want to play those titles at 1440p, but you don't want to spend $280, I completely understand. You can lower the graphic settings to medium or high, but just so you know, you have those limitations. However, for the popular titles, as I mentioned before, GTA 5, these type of games are going to be way more than playable in any GPU that I mentioned here. But the 6700 is a bit better than the RX 7600 or the RX 6650 XT. Now, the performance difference is not huge, but here you are spending the extra more for the VRAM than for the performance itself, especially, like I said before, if you want to play the latest, most demanding titles on ultra settings. And with the best one on the list, it's not the cheapest one out there, it's $330, and after 20% discount, we are talking about the RX 6700 XT, and I believe this is the best GPU price to performance in the whole market for a couple of reasons. Here you get 12 gigs of VRAM, so even more than the 6700, and it's a great 1440p GPU. Also, in terms of performance, it's around 11% faster than the RX 7600, really similar to the RTX 4060 Ti and the RTX 3060 Ti. So great performance for 1440p, but it actually has more VRAM than the Nvidia GPU GPUs for a lower price. So if you want to get the highest FPS at 1080p and you want to play at 1440p on high settings, I think this one is your best option. And even though it's around $330, it's still a decent price, so you can get a budget computer with this GPU for no more than $750. Now, on a 12 game average, the same test I mentioned before, the RX 6700 XT was able to average 156 FPS, which is much higher than the RX 6600 and the 6600 XT. And then at 1440p, it was able to manage 112 FPS on average, which is pretty insane considering the price. So whether you want a 1440p solid experience on a budget, or you want 1080p at the highest settings with the highest FPS, because trust me, anything more than the 6700 XT or 6750 XT is an overkill for 1080p gaming. This is going to be your best option. Now, if you got lost with the performance and resolutions of these GPUs and you're a beginner, I recently made a new page on my website where you can find every GPU and the ideal resolution, but also the average graphic settings for different resolutions. I recommend you checking that out. I will leave it in the description with the other GPUs. And of course, the GPU is the most important part on a gaming system for performance, but you also need the right CPU not to bottleneck your system, and you need the right components, because if they don't work well together, maybe your PC will not even post. For that reason, I recommend you watching my video about the best PC builds of the month, where I go over budget options as well. So even if you have $500 to spend on a whole PC, you will have an option on that video. That being said, thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.